An epic adventure requires an epic score, and some of the biggest soundtracks in film history have been recorded right here at the scoring stage at Skywalker Sound. We're talking Star Wars, Jurassic Park, and Toy Story, just to name a few. And now the team at Naughty Dog is here to record their fully orchestrated soundtrack to their newest title, Uncharted 2: Among Thieves. To live up to the huge expectations for their long-awaited sequel, Naughty Dog doubled the size of the orchestra and brought back master composer Greg Edmonson to score the game's sweeping soundtrack. We caught up with Greg just before his final recording session was about to begin. The music for Drake's Fortune was really wonderful. What did you want to bring to the sequel?
We just knew from the very beginning that when you were in the mountains of Mongolia, you had a wide open cinematic setting, and you hope to take advantage of that in the music. You get a chance to go to a cinematic place that you can't if it's a smaller, more contained story.
How big is the orchestra that you're working with? I imagine you must have a really huge team to be able to achieve the goals that you want.
This game needed to have a bigger sound, and I watched it kind of blossom from the very beginning. It's set in this huge cinematic environment. With all credit to Naughty Dog and to Sony, somebody ponied up the money to bring all these wonderful players. That's a luxury that most people don't get.
What's it like producing music and creating the soundtrack at a place like Skywalker Sound?
As you know from being here, it's a unique environment. There's nothing like it. This place, and I wish we could share this with people, is so gorgeous. I mean, and so beautiful. It's like a working vacation. When you're recording, it's a lot of pressure because you have a lot of people there and a lot of money is being spent every hour. So that's pressure. It is what we call hard fun. And every time I'm up here, I go, how lucky am I to be up here?
So you also did a lot of recording down in LA where you're based. Can you tell me about some of the unique instrumentation that you worked with there?
I started off by having our percussion guys bring in more gear than I have ever seen in my whole life. And they brought in these giant taikos and everything else that you could possibly imagine. For 3 days we recorded giant percussion stuff.
Oh, that must have been so cathartic too.
It was so fun. Chris Bleth came in, who is world famous for playing all these woodwind instruments that one can only imagine. He brings in bags and bags and bags full of these and plays these wonderful melodies on these instruments that you never would have known about. And then one night we brought in Karen Han, who plays the erhu, which is a Chinese violin. Fascinating instrument, very primal, thousands and thousands of years old, has 2 strings. It's an unusual sound. And we'd written these melodies, and then, she takes them and brings them to life. And it was just a joy. If you bring them in and you say, show me what you can do with this, because ethnic instruments by their very nature are limited in their scope. You don't know what scale they can play, you don't know what they can do. So you learn and then you adapt, but when you're working with somebody of that caliber, they make your job easy.
I know there were probably many of them, but what would you say was your biggest challenge in working on this sequel?
I'm kind of new to the gaming world. In film and TV, the picture always exists, and the picture tells you what to do. The picture doesn't always exist here. If you've got good acting performances, and it looks great, and you got good dialogue, you don't have to point things out that are obvious. It's a little bit of a mistake. It's nuance that elevates it to a superior art form. If you can bring all those elements together, we can raise the bar. We can raise the bar and then maybe get a chance to do it again.